Any type of like media where people are gonna be watching, it's preferred to have 30 frames per second over 60 frames per second, which 60 looks kind of doesn't look as natural. It's more so used for if you want to slow things down, like post production. But so we're not going to be doing that for live, so we'll click 30. But you have the options here, 60 or 30, but 60 when possible. We just want to keep it at 30, 60 or 30, but the high resolution. Again, this might override. I'm not sure exactly how it will change, but it might override the 30. So we just want to keep it at 30 just so we know that it's 30 all the time. Next will be the stream provider. So
blockbuster level effects in your editing toolbox. Possibilities you thought out of reach, right at hand. One awe-inspiring plugin, endless creative options.
In this video, we're going to go through all the steps you need to install and configure OBS to live stream your services. Of live streaming and how beneficial it is for your church. Now in this video, I'm actually going to go through the very beginning, the 101 of actually setting up OBS. There are multiple other programs that you can use to live stream. For me personally, I use OBS at my home church as well as the other churches I've helped consult with. So I'm just going to walk through that and give you some of my actually show you how to implement a lot of the pro live streaming tips that I had in the previous video that I had right here. But let's go ahead and just walk through it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is you can do this on a Mac or a PC or Linux. Me personally, I prefer Windows just because it makes it easier, and I discuss that later on why to do that. But let's go ahead and go over to obsproject.com. So we're over here, and I am going to pick out the version of software that I'm going to use, and that's going to be Windows here. It's going to go ahead and click on Next. Auto configuration, no for right now. Yep, and if you change your mind, and your license and agreements and all that good stuff, go ahead and click OK. Alright, and it's going to say, do you want to run auto configuration? No for right now. Yep, and if you change your mind, you can run it again. Exactly. Alright, so here's your main interface. Let's go ahead and drag this up. This is your window. The first thing I would say, go ahead and click on studio mode over here. And how this is going to be set up is you have your screen over here is going to be your program. That's actually what people are going to see. This screen is going to be a preview. This is especially for beginners, this is a good way to configure this because this screen will show you what's going to go to next. So this is what's live, this is what's next. All right. So here, this is your scenes window where you can have multiple scenes and you have sources. You can have multiple sources inside of a scene, and we're going to go through that. Now the first thing I want you to do is we're going to go to settings, and a lot of this stuff you don't have to change right now. You can change your theme. I have mine as dark default, makes it light, and I'll switch back to that just for right now, makes it easier to see. And I hit apply. Now your stream, we're going to come in here, and whenever you have your streaming service, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, whichever one, this is where you would configure that. You would get your stream key that we've talked about before. That's what will go here, and that's authenticates you when you're connecting to whatever given service. You can click on show all services to show all the ones that are pre-configured. But if you happen to be doing something completely different and it's not listed, you can always go to custom and put your own connections in there. And if you're at this screen, you would know. You would have all the information to do this. All right. Your output. These are some settings that you might want to play with, but this is your bit rate. And again, what I've noticed in here, I won't go into advanced. I'll keep it on simple. But what we're going to do is a that configuration that we had an option to do, I'm gonna come back and do that because they will find the best coding for these settings based on your internet connection. So we'll come back to this. But the main thing is you might want to come in here and change your location of your drives, of where if you decide to use OBS to record as a backup, which we do sometimes at church just in case, you might want to switch the path of where it's being recorded to. Now, me personally, I will move this to a path here on my E drive. Your recording quality, same as your stream. I keep it to that. I don't use this format. I use either MOV or MP4. So I'm just going to say MOV for right now. Audio. You normally don't need to play with this, but seeing how I use a different video editor, I have mine at 48 kilohertz. And it says I need to restart for that to take place, and that's fine. So again, a lot of the stuff you don't really have to touch. This is only if you know what you're doing from here. And again, our video editing software expects all audio to be in 48 kilohertz. That's the only reason why I'm changing that. If we weren't using that, I wouldn't even touch this. Video, this is where you change what resolution is going to be shown when you're live streaming. My desktop right now is at 1920 by 1080, but it's saying that it's going to live stream at 720. So you can always come in here and change this. You can type in whatever ones that you want. You probably don't want to go any higher than what the computer's saying you can. So me personally, I say our church service, we want to do 1080. So I'll just pick that. So that's going to be what is going out, your output. Now your frames per second, that's how many images are being drawn per second.